You don't even know how to lie, bro. And it's a free superpower. Everyone in powerful positions in this world is a liar. And they do it so perfectly that it feels right. Our whole history, our entire existence was built on lies. So today, I'm going to give you some ideas on how to lie calculatively, as a skill, so you never get stuck in weird situations. But, don't lie in ways that seriously hurt people. You can lie to make them happy or to help yourself out. To understand this easily, I've broken it down into 3 parts: the base, the body, and the head. The base. You have to build the base first before you can tell a powerful lie. It might feel like a long process or a formula to memorize right now, but trust me, it will set into your brain and give you an automatic flow when you lie. First, you have to believe whatever you're saying is the truth. Only then can you make others believe it. I mean, if you don't believe you have 6 inches, no one else will. It also makes it easier to act and feel authentic. But how do you do that? You convince your brain by manipulating the past, not by making up completely new things, but by thinking about modified versions of what actually happened. Yeah, I actually saved 2 people, even if you just helped someone with directions. That's exactly how we lie to others. But first, you lie to your own brain to build the base. Your base also needs to be logical. People aren't men in love. They don't believe every illogical thing thrown at them. So don't make it too far-fetched. Like if someone asks where you were yesterday and you say, "I was saving the city." Even if that's somehow true, don't say it because it's illogical to them. First step is clear. Make your brain believe the lie first and make the lie as logical as possible. The body. This is the most important part. There are thousands of situations where we lie. Lying to your parents about why you need money. Lying that you don't want to go on a trip with friends. Lying to your partner so you can watch football. Or making yourself look impressive in front of others. For most of these situations, people follow a rule called 70-30. 70% truth and 30% lies. But we're built differently. We're going to use 70% lies because situations are tricky. And we don't use any fixed order, like say the truth first, then the lie at the end. We're going to lie freely and sprinkle in that 30% truth like sweeteners in between. For example, your boss asks why you were late to a meeting. The truth? You were partying last night and didn't wake up on time. Then you think back through your morning, and you remember seeing a small car accident on the way, though it was on the other side of the road and didn't slow you down at all. Now you use 70% lies around it. You tell your boss the accident was right in front of you, that you were the first person on the scene, and that you had to stay and give a statement to the police because you were the only witness. Why does this calculative lie work? Verifiability. If they check the news or traffic apps, there actually was an accident at that location at that time. That 30% truth makes the whole story check out. Emotional base. Because you actually saw the accident, your brain has a real visual memory of it. When you speak, you're not imagining a scene, you're describing a real one. That removes the shifty eyes and stuttering that usually give a liar away, and your brain believes it too. Now here's the upgraded version, for situations where nothing interesting happened, like when you didn't see any accident at all. In cases like these, play with information. Think about what your boss already knows about you. Maybe your wife is pregnant. Maybe you go out every week to give food to homeless people. Maybe you have a talent, like singing or dancing. Use that. My wife wasn't feeling well, or I saw a homeless person on the road, or a famous musician found my singing video online and asked me to come to their office. They can verify it in their brain. Yeah, that's happened before, and they'll believe it. And information is infinite. You can also use what you know about them, their favorite sports, food, events, politics, anything. If your friends love baseball, but they're planning a Hawaii trip on match day and you don't want to go, lie that you already bought a ticket to the match and have a bet on it. You can also use places or events they know well, like a hiking spot known to be risky that you both know about. Say someone slipped and almost fell off the edge, but you caught them in time and now they thank you by bringing chocolates every now and then. Those chocolates were actually given to you by random people. You just reuse the information. Or maybe you watched a travel vlog on YouTube where someone visited your distant cousin's hometown, a place you've never been. Use that footage in your head. Describe it like you were there and make it a fun story. These are just some examples, but these tricks work for almost any situation. Start with 30% truth and 70% lies. And if that's too tricky for the situation, play with information, yours or theirs.
The head. This is the decoration. It keeps you from looking suspicious. First, don't over-explain. Don't ramble or try too hard. Talk normally, then shift attention to something else. Once you've told your lie and they've asked a question or two, switch the topic. Not with something random and awkward, but with something interesting or emotionally engaging. Like if someone just fell on the street nearby, you say, "Oh, that reminds me, I once fell off a rooftop," and tell it with full emotion. Make it so interesting that they start sharing their own stories about falling. On a phone call asking your cousin for money, after the lie, smoothly ask, "By the way, how's Uncle doing?" and bring up a funny incident about him. It should feel emotional, smooth, and natural. And even after all of this, if they still seem suspicious, which is rare, use rawness and flaws. Your lie should never be too perfect, or it'll feel rehearsed and planned. There's a story I remember, I think I read it in the 48 Laws of Power or some self-help book when I was a teenager. A famous con artist tried to sell the Eiffel Tower to a businessman, possibly a mafia figure, by convincing him that the French government wanted to sell it. He posed as a government official and negotiated the deal. When it was almost done, the buyer got suspicious for some reason. Then the con artist did something brilliant. He subtly asked for a bribe, indirectly. And the buyer thought, of course a government official would do that. They always want money. That flaw sealed the deal. The imperfection made it believable. That's how flaws work.
The final framework. Base, believe the lie yourself and make it logical. Body, build it with 70-30 and play with information. Head, decorate with distraction and deliberate flaws. This sounds hard right now, but practice makes perfect. Eventually, it becomes a gut feeling, and you'll lie smoothly without even thinking about it. Start with small lies first, then do what you feel. But a warning, never use this to cheat people or seriously destroy someone's trust. I know how it feels to be on the receiving end of that kind of lie. I got these skills by watching people who did exactly that. Maybe I learned from the best. So, just use it to get yourself out of trouble.